Hello there. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I trace my ancestry back to Sierra Leone. As you all can see, I'm in nature, and nature will do what nature does, and nature will be naturing. You hear the birds chirping in the background. Let them sing and let them talk. And you might hear some people too in the background. All right. For my African Americans, we have to remember that we come from a mixed group of people who are all connected to different tribes. Due to slavery, it caused a lot of groups to mix up. And so when you're trying to discover your ancestry as an African American, keep in mind that we are essentially connected to a lot of different tribes. Before I get started with my story, I want to first talk about my gift. I want to give light, and I want to give light to my gift. Without my gift, if it wasn't for my gift, I would not be here right now sharing this story with you guys. I would not be here sharing this testimony with you guys if it wasn't for my gift. It wasn't for me fully operating within my gift and using my discernment while I'm operating within my gift. All right, so here we go. It was 2020. In 2020, I was still working with the school district, but I was then substitute teacher. And of course, during the pandemic, at that time when the pandemic had shortly later after it kicked off, a lot of the kids went to being virtual. And so it was a stressor for everybody. Everybody was stressed out during that time. And so that one particular day, I was stressed out for very good reasons. And that day I wanted to sit down and when I took my break, I wanted to sit down and watch something funny to, lift my spirits up. A lot of times when, I don't know about you guys, but when you feel a little down or a little overly stressed out, you're going to naturally gravitate to doing something that is going to, one, boost your mood up. And at that time, I was at home and I wanted to take my break. And when I took my break, I wanted to watch something funny that was going to boost my mood up. But for some reason, I kept feeling pulled to wanting to watch a documentary. But I didn't want to watch a documentary, but another part of me wanted to watch a documentary. So I went ahead and went with that and listened. And I was obedient and listened to that. So the first documentary that actually came up was a documentary about these group of people from Charlotte, I believe Charlotte, North or South Carolina. I'm not gonna name the specifics because I'm not really sure, but North or they were from the Carolinas. The documentary was about how they were able to trace their ancestry all the way back to Sierra Leone, down to the Mende people. So again, I'm like, I don't want to really watch this right now, but okay, I'm gonna be obedient. And I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna watch this, I'm gonna follow through. So I'm watching it. Towards the end, they decide to go to what would be like essentially the door of no return. Different countries have different names for this. In Sierra Leone, it is not called the door of no return. They actually have a different name of it, a different name for it. But when the people in the documentary, when they got there, they all were dressed in white, and I really loved that. And so that right there just did it. They were all dressed in white, but they went to the islands to pay their respects, to pour libations for the folks who had to go through that and endure that before they went to the new world, as they would call it. So as they pour the libations, you start to notice one by one. I want to say they might have been in a circle, but one by one, you start to notice everybody that's pouring libation, the people especially the person that's leading the prayer, as they're pouring libation, you start to notice one by one, each person started to weep. And something about that did something to me to the inside. Now, I know I'm a very empathic and sensitive person, so I tend to feel everything anyway. But this felt different. I felt this, like down in my core, this pain, like I felt this. And so now I'm sitting on the couch and I'm crying like a baby. And now the documentary is over with, and I'm still crying like a baby. Like, I'm talking about uncontrollable, those ugly tears that you can't control. You can't you no matter, you keep wiping them, but they keep coming back. And so me using my discernment and just checking in, and one, I needed to center myself because I had to jump back into a classroom full of fifth graders. Fifth graders. So I need to get myself together, but I was having a hard time getting myself together. So at that point I had to check in with myself and figure out, hold up, are these your emotions you're picking up on, or are you just picking up on their emotions, and like, what's going on with you? And as I'm sitting there kind of like, I would say, assess myself and evaluating myself and trying to figure out like where these emotions are coming from, I had to like realize like, chick, you over here crying like these your folks, like these your people. And I literally heard, because they are. And in that moment I was like, it's like the waterworks just came even more. So from that point, I got myself together, got back on Zoom with my kids, and then after that I realized like, you need to go ahead and get a test, DNA test. Now I'll be honest, I was always, at first I was like low-key like against any type of DNA test, but I have to say, when I heard about the African Ancestry DNA test, I was intrigued, especially when I looked up and looked more into like how they handle it, especially with such care. I was intrigued. I was impressed. And so that was one test I said, I'm not taking the other one, but I would take this one. I did eventually take the other one, but initially I said, I'm not taking that one, the other one, but I'm going to take the African Ancestry test. And so it was a matter of saving up for it. And if you may not know, there is a big difference in both tests, how things are handled, and even in the price. You would have to do more research to further investigate and understand it for yourself, but there is a big difference. What I loved about the African Ancestry is it points you down. It gives you a piece of the puzzle that you've been looking for a long time. And it gives you the tool of, okay, you have ancestry from this country and down to this tribe, because it makes it a lot different when you don't know the tribe. Yeah, you can have ancestry from Ghana or Nigeria, but if you don't know what tribe your people come from, then it just kind of makes it harder. It makes it harder in some ways, especially when you're doing ancestral veneration. I'm not saying it's not possible, but just it makes things a little bit difficult. Fast forward, I order the test. I get the test. The test takes approximately 6 months for the test to get here. Once I took the test and I sent the test back, it was a long wait. But I have to say, once that test came in and I saw the results came up. I want to say 99 or 100%, 99 or 100% Sierra Leone, the Mende tribe. And that's why when I started this video about paying tribute to, recognizing my gift and how my gift played a big part in me even making this video, me even finding out how I'm connected to this tribe in Sierra Leone. If it wasn't for my gift, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here explaining all this to you guys. So when you're on this trail of, tracing your roots, use all your tools. Use your spiritual tools. I always say that to people. Use your spiritual tools and use your physical tools. Your physical tools will be the DNA test, because it will be a clear-cut piece of paper that you now could say, my people come from here. So when I got those results, I cried like a baby again. I sobbed because I realized, oh my gosh, what I heard was true. What I picked up on was true. My discernment was true. I was being guided the whole entire time. So if I would have said, nah, I'm not watching no documentary, I don't feel like doing that, I'm gonna, in a way, I would have been ignoring I would have been ignoring that that ancestor who was trying to just point me to the next direction, lead me to them, give me the next piece of the puzzle. I would have been ignoring them. So I said this video was going to be short. I want to leave that with you guys. This is my testimony about AfricanAncestry.com and how I was able to correlate it with my spiritual gifts. My spiritual gift led me to discovering who I was connected to, and the test matched up with what I discovered. So I'll leave that with you guys. Take care. Have a good day. Thank you.